I come to you today to report on the devastating incident that happened at Tembisa Hospital today. If you didn't already know, the hospital was actually closed down for most of the day as a shooting incident happened at the hospital's parking lot. So the hospital actually released a media statement to inform the public about what happened. And this is just a small part that I'm going to read as it details everything that happened, or most things that transpired at the hospital. It says, just after 8 this morning, a 30-year-old police officer entered the hospital driving a state vehicle with blue lights on and parked at the accident and emergency department's parking lot. The man then called his 30-year-old partner, who was on duty at the time, to come to the parking lot. Upon arrival, the police officer opened fire on the enrolled nursing assistant and turned the gun on himself. Unfortunately, the nurse died on the scene while the police officer is currently in a critical condition.
The witnesses at the scene say that the member then allegedly shot at the partner and then shot at himself. So the partner unfortunately was fatally wounded, but the member is now currently receiving medical attention as he is reported to be in a critical condition.
That is a statement that was released by Tembisa Hospital pertaining to the incident that happened earlier on today at the hospital. There's since been an eyewitness that's come out to speak to the Sowetan, and this person basically detailed what he saw happened at the hospital. He says, "We were not paying them any attention as they stood and spoke just near the entrance until we heard gunshots. When we reacted to the first gunshots, the man started pointing the firearm at us before turning the gun on himself and shooting himself in the head. I still don't believe what I just saw this morning. The nurse died almost immediately. I think she was shot about 5 or 6 times all over her body." And that is a statement that was given by an employee at the hospital who has wished to remain anonymous. The first thing that I'd like to say or express are my condolences to the family of the deceased and to everyone who has been affected or impacted by the actions of the person or the police officer that's now finding himself in critical condition in the hospital. It is just so unfortunate that the person that decided to take the life of another is lying in hospital fighting for his life. It's actually quite an irony to think of it. It just speaks on the injustices that are happening in South Africa and in most parts of the world, and how unfair the reality of certain people is on this earth. And the reality that I'm speaking about is the reality of women. Everyone knows that women have always fallen victim to gender-based violence, to bodily harm by their partners, and to all sorts of emotional and physical abuse, as I've mentioned. And it's gut-wrenching to know that since the passing of so many beautiful souls here in South Africa, nothing has really changed. These people are still not afraid to victimize, to brutalize, and to kill women in South Africa because they know that they can get away with it, and they think that they'll never get caught until they actually do. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is what happened at Tembisa Hospital today. A fatal shooting happened which resulted in a woman being killed or murdered by a police officer who is now in critical condition in a hospital. I'd just like to thank everyone. If you've made it to this far in the video, thank you very, very much for listening to me ramble and rant. Please do subscribe to this video, and I will see you in my next upload. Goodbye, lovelies.
Thank you.